Hi, I'm Ansley and
And I'm Lily Campbell.
And this is WJAG-TV with your weekly school news. Mr. Bales and Ms. Burnsett's class have been working very hard on single-handedly creating a coffee business within the school. Every Friday morning, several students work to take the teachers' orders, make the coffee, and deliver it to the teachers' doors. I met with several of the students and teachers involved to learn a latte about the grind that goes into producing a cup of coffee.
Every Friday morning, the Hot Jack's coffee shop works tirelessly to distribute hot drinks to the teachers who order them. First, groups of students go door to door taking teachers' orders on iPads. These orders are then sent through to a computer where they are transcribed in real time. The written orders are then given to the baristas of the group, who then make either coffee, tea, or hot chocolate and prepare the orders to be distributed. Then, groups of students deliver the coffee directly to the teacher's door. Mrs. Burnsett and Miss Weaver talked to me about the way the coffee shop makes students feel, as well as the responsibilities that running the shop gives to them.
The whole process gives them a sense of pride because they're in it from the very start to the finish. They're part of every process. They get interviewed for jobs. They have to make the shopping list for the coffee shop. They have to know what we need to get. They sell the coffee, they make the coffee, and then at the end of the day we also go over our sales data. So from beginning to end, they're invested, and I think it makes them proud and happy to see other people coming and enjoying the coffee shop like they do and getting to share that experience with other people outside of the classroom. So I think it makes them really proud to see other people happy and enjoying the coffee shop.
So every Friday morning, we do coffee shop, and my students go out and they go door to door and they take orders with the iPad, and you can tell, you can just see their sense of pride. They love to have that responsibility. They come in, they're ready to go to work. They ask about coffee shop. They're ready Thursday. Hey, are we going to do coffee shop tomorrow? Yeah, we're going to do coffee shop tomorrow. So it's just like a job for them, and it's a responsibility, and it makes them feel really good about themselves. You can see it in their faces when they come in, and when they're finished, once they've gone around taking orders and they're ready to clock out, they're really happy and prideful.
So how do you feel when you're working at the coffee shop?
I'm excited.
It's definitely an incentive, just like anyone else in their jobs. The incentive is to get paid and also the satisfaction of working hard. And it's the same exact for our students. It just so happens that we also have a good time on top of it, but they're doing it to put in hard work into something that they're a part of. And also they do get rewarded with a payment. It's $1 that they can use towards our class rewards store to buy different things like activities, candy, sodas, things like that. So at the end of every shift that they do get paid in that sense.
So how much coffee do y'all usually sell?
I'd say
30.
I also spoke to Mr. Bales about the idea of having the coffee shop, as well as the teachers' involvement.
We decided that because our students loved interacting with different people and just kind of getting to meet new people, we thought the best way to do that would be to serve the teachers. And so once we kind of did a trial run of it and we did some debating and kind of finagling of how to do it, we got it all worked out so that our students could do that. And the idea brought about job skills for our students and daily living skills and all of this. So it was the easy way to go because there's so many things that revolve around a coffee shop, and so having one ourselves gave our students the ability to do different jobs and work on different skills while getting to interact with teachers and people throughout the school.
Do you think that the teachers feel appreciated when you bring them coffee?
Yeah,
Why do you think that?
because they look like happy.
Yes, the teachers do a fantastic job of supporting the coffee shop. Without the teachers, we wouldn't even be able to run because they are fully relying on our teachers to support us. And so far, it's been fantastic with the support we've gotten. And, you know, we just keep growing and expanding, and the teachers have been there supporting us this whole time.
Washington Farms is a fun seasonal attraction which has gained a lot of attention from the Athens community, including students here at Cedar Hills High School. Lauren Sharif and Dustin Howard went to see what all the hype was about.
From strawberry picking to flashlight nights, Washington Farms is a fall festival that attracts everyone in Athens. This family-built business has been around for years and offers lots of fall activities for families and friends to do.
My brother took me over to a buddy of his to look at his farm, and he had a pick-your-own strawberry operation. So I looked at that. We were going to homeschool our kids, and I thought that would be a great business to be into where the whole family could work together and I could teach the kids about business and everything else. So that's how we got into it.
Tell me about all the different activities you got going on.
We've added the corn maze, we added pig races, we've got a vortex tunnel, we have corn box, we have hay rides, we have a cow train, a grain train. We have the jumping pillows now with a petting zoo. There's just all kinds of activities for families to do. Most of the families will come out during the daytime, and then at night when we have our flashlight night at the corn maze, that's when we get more of the high school and college kids coming out. And then we've got two mazes. One's a longer one and one's a shorter one. So the families can go through a short 15-20 minute maze.
The corn maze is liked a lot by people because everyone just loves going to the corn maze at night and they think that's a lot of fun. And then it's challenging for people, and like a lot of like big groups like to go in the corn maze together and like get lost and hang out, and it's just fun, especially at night.
Do you feel like Athens has the majority of people there, or like, what do you think?
There's a variety of people.
Yeah.
Just everyone.
Tell us a little about the concessions.
We've got barbecue, hot dogs, hamburgers, chicken tenders, you know, your basic just concession food. But then we're also famous now for our kettle corn, which we didn't realize it, but it's become so popular. We have people driving out here just to buy the kettle corn. And then in springtime especially, we're famous for our strawberry ice cream because it's made with homemade strawberry ice cream right here.
They love the ice cream, and it's like a homemade strawberry ice cream that the Washingtons make, and it is so good.
So what do y'all do to like promote Washington Farms?
A lot of it's just social media. We have 30-something thousand people on our website, our Facebook page.
Why do you think it's something that a lot of people decide to go to during like the fall season?
It's trendy.
Yeah, it's like a cute little.
It's a fall activity.
Tell me a little bit about all the work that it takes to keep up a farm like this.
We'll have 130 people or so hired in the fall. On our busy days, we'll have 70 or 80 people here actually at the farm working. And then we have several full-time people that help with the growing the strawberries, the planting, the harvesting, the selling, everything else involved with the strawberry plants. And then we also have blackberries and blueberries.
What are some of the different jobs that people have here working at Washington Farm?
But we have our farm hands, and they're the ones actually doing the growing and planting and just everything from planting the strawberries to digging a hole to put a fence post in, you know, just farm work, feeding the animals, all that kind of stuff. And then during the fall, when we're open for all our agritourism, we need somebody to drive the hay wagons and the cow train and the grain train. We've got, we've got the people in the concession stands in the kettle corn building. We've got people down at the petting zoo, the jumping pillow. We have a pumpkin slingshot and corn cannon. We'll have people down there running those. Our paintball, we've got people there. We got people scattered all over the place. They're having a good time, you know. The kids are out here playing, and this is what we need more of. So if anything, I see this growing. Agritourism has taken off the last 8 years or so. and it's just people wanting to come do something fun outdoors like this.
The award for CCSD Teacher of the Year was presented to Cedar Shoals alumni Mr. Huberty. Testimonials from teachers and students alike were given to further display Mr. Huberty's character and his stupendous teaching abilities. Alex Soto and I, Ansley Gunnerman, interviewed Mr. Huberty and several of his students and coworkers to learn more about him and why he was awarded such a renowned achievement. Cheers to that.
In the spring, I was honored with being the Teacher of the Year here at Cedar Shoals, and then this fall, I was named Clark County District Teacher of the Year. The process you go through is you write some essays, and from those essays, they pick 3 finalists, and then they go and observe those 3 finalists, and I was one of the 3 finalists, and I guess my observation went really well.
I think it's important to know that Mr. Huberty this year, for instance, has only written up 1 student, and he was telling me the other day how he relates to students on a personal level. I know he was a coach for many years, and he's able to just connect with students in a way that makes them want to learn. And so I think that's what makes him a great educator, is that he's a great person and that his students know that in his classroom, that he cares about them.
I think a great teacher at Cedar Shoals has to be flexible, it has to be understanding, has to be able to adapt to what walks in their door.
Someone who will work with you, you know, not just go up to the board and tell you what you're supposed to hear. Someone that's really going to make sure that you're getting your education. Someone that's making sure that you're learning what you're supposed to, and also just being there for the students.
I have really strong roots here at Cedar Shoals. I went here, my wife went here, my kids went here. When I started teaching here, my brother was a senior. My mom was the nurse, and my mother-in-law was the counselor. So I have many, many things going on here at Cedar Shoals, and it is my home. I have a lot of pride in the school. I have confidence in what we do here, and I've enjoyed the relationships that I've built through the teachers and the students, and there was just never a place that I thought that I could go that I could feel the way I feel here.
I think it's pretty amazing how committed he is to Cedar Shoals, and just to graduate from here and then come back and be a teacher.
For a lot of students here, you know, it's a good, you know, representation of successful Cedar alumni. You know, he went here and now he's a very successful teacher. He's winning awards and all, and so it's something for the students at Cedar to be able to look up to and see that you know, you can be successful.
Mr. Huberty is dedicated to this community. He's taught here longer than most teachers. He graduated here, his wife taught here, and his 2 children graduated from here, so he loves Cedar Shoals probably more than most.
I mean, just overall, he's a really great guy. I've known him my entire life, and his daughter was in the same grade as my sister, and so you know, I've just known him a really long time, and I just know that he's a great guy, and he's been here forever, so he really deserves it.
AMC Dining Theater employs several Cedar Shoals students. I, Catherine Wang, met with AMC senior staff members as well as students who work there to figure out what pulls students to work in the movie theater, as well as why the theater hires so many students.
AMC Dine-In Theater, previously known as Ovation, welcomes people of all ages in the Athens community as a center of entertainment. Since its reopening on June 26, 2015, after undergoing some drastic renovations, AMC Theater has received an influx of Cedar Shoals students, not just as customers, but also as employees.
We're on the east side of town, we're close, so I do get a lot of Cedar kids. But more importantly to that is because I want to have the Cedar kids here. Any given time of year, I can have 25, 30, you know, or sometimes even a few more Cedar kids working here, summer especially. Going back when we first opened this theater, we weren't entirely sure how to staff it. One thing that we noticed that we had success with was getting a core group of kids from Cedar that came on board and immediately showed themselves to be very impressive young individuals, and we kind of built around that nucleus.
With so many high schoolers working at AMC, there are some challenges that arise. However, managers Brad Beasley and Christina Wentworth reveal the responsible sides of the teenagers.
It can be very, you know, hard at times because when I was in high school, I was very immature, and it's like normal for high schoolers to be immature. But there can be a lot of drama that comes with it, both high schoolers and people my age.
Sometimes you'll get off track, like you'll be going to run a drink and you'll just start a conversation and forget all about the drink, but we get our work done.
I mean, for the most part, there's not a lot of drawbacks. You guys can kind of keep each other sane, so like if one person is acting up, then you guys will go up to them and be like, hey, you need to like get on your stuff, like you're slacking.
They held each other accountable. They would come in the building and friends would train friends, friends would hold friends accountable, and they took it, frankly, more seriously than I expected them to, and I was very pleasantly surprised with that.
The working atmosphere at AMC is one of its many attracting factors that have drawn Cedar students to the theater. There, students can pick up many skills that will benefit them later in life while also having fun with the job.
I mean, there's a lot of perks to it. So, like, you get the free movies, you get free popcorn, you get discounts on food. You can, like, bring your friends. It's kind of cool. Like, it's, like, a fun environment. There's a lot of downtime, so it is something like it can be like a social thing.
People are here to enjoy themselves and be entertained, and so I can't have a staff that's miserable and doesn't want to be here.
They get along really well. They seem to have a lot of fun. They create a lot of positivity in this environment, and they keep it pretty stress-free. We're not just coworkers here. Like, I feel like the high school kids really incorporate a lot of like friendship and family elements that like is good for a business.
I am 42 years old, and I can honestly say this is the most fun job that I've ever had. I think the difference between this job that I have now and what I was doing before is in hotels I used to be inviting outsiders and people from out of town, you know, and hosting them and entertaining them. And for the first time in my working career with this job, I'm actually having my friends and neighbors and people in the community in on a daily basis.
I mean, it's pretty fun here. It's very friendly. Like everyone's always like walking with each other to take orders, and everyone's always waiting on each other. If they're having to take an order to the same theater, they'll like stop and like wait until you're done and then come back and you'll walk together back to the kitchen.
We try to keep the building just loose enough where they can come here, work with friends, gain some valuable work experience, but also take the job seriously.
When you're starting out and you have to carry a tray, you're gonna drop a couple drinks, but no one like reprimands you for it. It's expected, and they like just try to correct you instead of yelling at you for it.
They really press down on you about being friendly with customers, so it teaches you how to open up to people and be nice with everybody, including people you don't know.
More often than not, most days, most employees are good at remembering the part about taking the job seriously. Every now and then, you've got to steer one back. But by and large, they've done a good job, and I think it is because, you know, I have tried to create a culture of positivity and teamwork around here, and frankly, y'all have helped ingrain that culture of positivity and teamwork around here.
After speaking to management, they informed us that they are always looking to hire more students, and for more information, visit amctheaters.com.
And here's Scott Wells with the sports.
The Cedar Shoals swim team had their first 2 meets this weekend. They did decent in both. Colin Frick and Eli Araya gave us an idea on what they're expecting for the rest of the season. How did the team do in the most recent meet?
In the most recent meet, we did all right. We had 2 meets in a row, one on Friday at the Ramsey Center and another Saturday in Atlanta. And we are one of the smallest teams, so it is difficult to score points. But overall, I think with our numbers, we did all right.
What are some things you want to personally improve on?
Personally improve on, definitely breaststroke. I get that down a good 5 seconds, I think. But freestyle and everything else, I'd say I'm good personally.
What are your goals for this year?
For this year, I guess just to grow better as a team, get a better relay team together.
How are you planning to place in the upcoming meets?
In the upcoming meets, well, in my last meet, I got first place in one of my events. So I'm hoping for, if I get in a reasonable heat, to place in the top 5.
How did you do in the most recent meet?
Well, I didn't do terrible, I guess, but the season has just started, so I'm not really in shape. So I didn't swim my best times, but I mean, I did swim good times. It's not like it was horrible or anything.
How has swim impacted your high school life?
It's gotten me a lot more active. If it wasn't for swim, I probably wouldn't be as in shape.
The Cedar Shoals football team made the playoffs. Their first game is this Friday against Rome. Devontae Bankston and Coach Ryals gave us an idea of what they're preparing for the game.
The Cedar Shoals varsity football team won against Walnut Grove this past Friday with a score of 21-3. Here's a recap of Friday's game.
Why the soccer players don't try out for kicking.
Went well. Probably played together. You know, we didn't play a picture perfect game by no stretch of the imagination, but we played together for 4 quarters and just stuck with the game plan and had some success. Well, Jafari Caldwell had a really good game. He ran the ball real well for us. Threw a touchdown pass, caught a couple passes out the backfield. Showed us a lot of leadership, blocked well. And our defensive player of the week was also Dre Ingram. Had a really good game. A couple sacks, tactical loss. So just 2 of them to name a few of them, but those 2 really stood out. You just got to keep getting better at what we're doing, what we're trying to do. Keep playing with effort. We're trying to play with a lot of effort and a lot of discipline, and see what happens.
My expectation is being wrong, number 1. Number 2 is going to the second round playoffs. Number 3 is going to the Mercedes-Benz Dome. My goal is to get 100 yards or more than 100 yards or just win. Come as one, not individuals. Be aggressive on the field.
Why the soccer players don't try out for kicking.
Mateo said
My name is Catherine Wang.
And my name is Destin Howard.
And we're signing off from WJAG-TV with
From
your
your
weekly school news.
Ew! Oh.